Hi, I'm Irene Woods. This is the pattern for Lesson 1 for the GK 370 Beginner Series. We're going to knit a quick and easy baby hat. This can be worn with either a rolled edge or folded brim. The link to this pattern is in the description below. Bring forward 65 needles. Return every other one to position A, out of work. Set the row counter to 0, 0, 0. Thread the carriage. See the video for Lesson 1 for more details. Knit one row. Hang the cast-on comb with the teeth facing you on the loops between the needles. Bring the alternate needles back to working position, which is position B. Knit 4 rows. Hang a weight on each edge. Knit even to row count 44. Remove yarn from the carriage. Measure it 3 times across the working needles, plus a few more inches, and clip it. Remove the weights and the cast-on comb. Thread the yarn tail into the yarn needle and backstitch across, being careful not to skip or drop any stitches. See the instructions for Lesson 1 for more details. Lift the fabric up and off the needles. Push the extended needles back. Keep the needle threaded with the yarn from the bind-off. We are going to reverse the seam at the bottom of the hat so that it is hidden in the roll. Fold the fabric so that the knit side is on the inside, and begin sewing at the cast-on edge with the purl side on the outside. Go under one bar on the right edge, then one bar on the left, alternating back and forth. I'm picking up the bars one stitch in from the edge. When the seam is done with the purl side facing you, it is called reverse mattress stitch. Continue until the seam is approximately 2 inches or 5 centimeters long. I am checking to see how the seam goes into the roll at the bottom of the hat. I want the seam to be completely hidden. It needs a few more stitches. Pass the needle through to the other side. Turn the hat right side out. Check to see how the bottom rolls. Now begin sewing, this time with the knit side on the outside. Begin where the yarn last came out and continue the seam from this point. Again, go under one bar from the right edge, then one bar from the left edge, alternating back and forth. Continue the seam to the top of the hat. Clip the yarn. Check the seam and the roll. Thread the yarn tail from the cast-on edge into the needle. Pull the yarn tail to gather up the top. There will be a long length of yarn. This is from the loops that were on the cast-on comb. Cinch the top as tightly as you can. If you used acrylic yarn, you can pull tightly, but be careful if you used wool. Some of it breaks easily. Clip off some of the excess yarn tail, but leave enough to finish sewing the top closed. Sew back and forth several times around the hole. There really isn't a rule for this. Just move around the hole, pulling the fabric together. Pass the needle to the inside of the hat and fasten securely. Finish the seam by passing the needle back and forth through the seam ridge on the inside of the hat. Clip the yarn. Turn the hat right side out. Check the crown shaping. Adjust the roll, or fold up a brim instead. It's your choice. The one thing I would change is to make the seam at the bottom a little longer before reversing. It's fine for a rolled bottom, but the seam shows when folding up a wide brim. Here's the completed hat. Now wasn't that easy? We will learn some additional ways to bind off in future lessons, and you might like to substitute one of them for this sewn bind off. Until next time, happy knitting!